Hi, so today I wanted to show you what our plant poll documents look like. The plant poll documents are the documents that we use um, to edit our product and that we send to the vendor. So initially, what we did when we finished a book is we came in here to the repository, the Phoenix area, and we went into the workflow manager and we pulled the plant poll PDF. The plant poll PDF is what it sounds like. It's a version of the chapter in PDF format, and I'll show you what that looks like. And it's basically an exact copy of what our chapter would look like, including all the formatting, etc. So what we did initially is we saved the PDF and we converted this to a Word document. These documents were very large and unwieldy, and they crashed our computers, and we were unable to work with them for very long. We had formatting problems. It was kind of a mess. So while they looked fine, they looked pretty, and all of our formatting was intact, they were not useful for our purposes, for editing purposes. They were too difficult to work with. So what we did is we moved to pulling the actual Word document that is rendered by Phoenix. And I will show you what that looks like. So this is the document that we pull from Phoenix. It's a Word document that you will see as I scroll down really does not retain most of the formatting that is in our chapter. So you'll see different fonts used. You will see strange, like where there should be an M space, for instance. You'll see like a circle. Instead of paragraph symbols, excuse me, you'll see PAR. So there are a lot of odd things in the documents, let's say. We have discovered that those things aren't really important when it comes to sending these documents to the vendor. We do a few things that make it easier for us and the attorney editors to work in the documents. For instance, we apply our special template to the documents so that if an attorney editor wishes to, they can use our special alt codes that we've always used. I made a macro and it gives us our various alt codes that we can use, and which is especially useful for inserting longer blocks of text with lots of indents and formatting changes. So we also, to make this a little bit easier to use, is we change the font on those things that would be italicized, which makes it easier to see what needs to be changed or what needs to be italicized or not italicized. When the documents are pulled, one of the fonts that appears is Helvetica Oblique. And so we just sort of come in here and say we're going to change the formatting of all that. And we have a macro for that too that we use on that we do a batch change on. But what we used to do is we would come in here and just change all the instances of Helvetica Oblique to an italicized form so that we can see it. And you can see there's a lot of instances of that. And so at least now, anyone who's working in the document can see what's been formatted in that way. Okay, so Let me show you then one of the files that we have already worked on and sent to the vendor. So what we do with the attorney editors and what we do is we make sure that we keep track of all the changes. So this is very important because the vendor must know what has been changed in the chapter. And truly all that they change in the chapter is what we have marked down for them to change. You don't have to go through and change anything that you think looks wrong. We have learned that we don't have to change all of these paragraphs back to symbols. Anything that is not marked is okay in the repository. This is just a tool for us to show them what we need changed. So as you can see, everything that has been deleted is in red and struck out, and everything that has been added is in blue. And sometimes if we add a whole new paragraph, we, as you see, we use our alt codes here. That's really just for our own visual reference. But what we do is we make them a note. For instance, here we made a note to vendor. This should be indented as if it were 1. You know, they have our specs, so they know what that means. And all we have to do is make a note for them, and they know what to do, and they're usually pretty good about doing it. And if they're not, we catch that in the proofreading process. But this is basically what the documents look like once we've gone in and made changes. And we go in and check anything that's been revised, and we don't accept any of the changes. We send this. This is the document that we would send to the vendor. Okay. All right. And if you have any questions, please let me know.